Sorry, I'm having too much
Oh man, nah, it's crazy. So let's go to this BBC article that's titled "Fire Festival Inside the World's Biggest Festival Flop." And Sibel, I don't know if you know this, but there's no one who can roast more sarcastically than a British reporter.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? You know this, right?
Absolutely.
It's even from the title, it says Fire Festival inside the world's biggest festival.
Some of them are born with salt for tongues. It's
And the very first line on this article, it says, Fyre Festival was the most talked about festival experience of 2017, but not because anyone had any fun there. So the moment you log on to the BBC, you kind of know what you're going to get. Yeah. It says, advertised by famous faces, including Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, and Hailey Baldwin.
No idea who that is.
Billed. Yeah, so I think Hailey Baldwin is married to Justin Bieber or something. So it says it was billed as a glamorous party on a deserted island. Tickets sold up to $100,000. Dude, $100,000.
Look, I will go on the record and say that while I feel bad for some kid who decided to go there for spring break, which many did, there were kids who decided to spend like $1,000 and go there for spring break.
But the dude's shelling out $100,000 for this,
over $40,000 to go party on an island. While people are dying from lack of food around the world, I could not care less that you ended up in a tent and had to eat cheese sandwiches.
What are you even telling me, bro? It seems like you don't understand and appreciate the culture, bro.
You don't understand the value influencers bring to society, bro.
We're just networking over here, bro. We're just networking. Bro.
Influencers are like the most important pillars of society, man. We're like the ones who hold it all together. We give people hope, man.
Exactly, bro.
We give people hope.
Right. So tickets cost up to $100,000, and guests who booked were promised luxury accommodation and the best in food, art, music, and adventure in the Bahamas.
Oh, brilliant.
Instead, they turned up to mattresses on rain-soaked floors, meals of cheese slices on bread, and their luggage thrown into an unlit car park.
I like how he says unlit. Now, it could have just been car park, but the man decided to unlit. Because he wanted to frost that cake.
It goes on further to say, when people turned up, they found that it was still practically a building site.
Yes. And we can actually talk about that. That's a good, I think, a good segue into how they ended up on a building site instead of a potentially less bad building site. Yeah, because the genius.
Let's talk about that, but let's take a quick break, and then we will be back to tell you why it went so badly.
Chill, bro. All right, bro. That's chill, bro.
Chill, bro. It wasn't even that bad, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
It was fine, bro. It was fine. I got a good tan, bro. It was like a good workout. It was like getting out in nature. I meditated.
Have you seen my pods, bro?
Yeah. I never skip leg day, and I meditated like a lot. Like you should see my streak on my app, bro. It's crazy.
On my app, bro. Yeah, bro.
I'm almost at the nirvana level of achievement.
All right, we should go over the break. I'm not going to stop.
We have hung out with way too many of this type of person. It's ridiculous. So we're just going to go on that quick break, and we will be right back to tell you why this happened so disastrously. Hang around. We'll be right back. Hello. So we're still talking about the Fyre Festival. So Fyre. Oh my goodness.
So Fyre, bro. So Fyre, bro. God.
Gosh. So Fyre.
Bro, I got the avocado toast package, and apparently gonna get avocado toast every morning. Is that sick, bro? Organic avocado.
That's my life now, bro.
I have avocado every morning, bro. Sorry.
Do you even avocado, bro? Yeah. So let's talk about, the earliest signs that this was not going to go well. Okay. So, originally this Fyre festival was supposed to happen in a very nice place, beautiful island, called Norman's Cay. And this was the former private island of Carlos Rivas. Okay. A kingpin of the Medellin cartel. Medellin. Right? And, Billy McFarland.
Would there happen to be any connections with a certain Pablo Escobar?
With a certain Pablo Escobar. So we're getting there. So Billy McFarland leased the island from the current owners, with the owners giving the strict condition that McFarland make no reference to Pablo Escobar, leader of the Medellin cartel.
You have only one job.
In any marketing materials, right? So simple enough, right? Now you're laughing because you know what comes next, right? You're laughing because you know what comes next. It then goes on to say promotional footage with hired supermodels were shot on Norman's Cay, and this is still back on the Wikipedia. And planning for the festival went ahead. On December 12, 2016, Kendall Jenner, Emily Ratajkowski, and other influencers paid by Fyre simultaneously posted on their Instagram feeds a video with a thumbnail consisting of an orange square and a logo made of stylized flames. The video showed Bella Hadid and other models represented by her agency running around a tropical beach. Text with the video promised an immersive music festival. 2 transformative weekends on the boundaries of the impossible. Right?
Of the impossible.
This was the beginning of the Fyre Festival's promotional campaign, during which McFarland himself claimed that the island had been owned by Escobar.
Damn it, Billy. You had only one job. One job, Billy. You had one job.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. So here's the thing. Is they told him, they said, look, this island used to belong to someone who was in the Medellin cartel. Please don't make any mention of the cartel or Escobar. Now, Billy not only breaks that rule, he says the island was owned by Escobar, which never happened. So in reality, Escobar never owned Norman's Cay. The owners canceled their agreement with McFarland's soon after. Right? So,
and all of a sudden,
it's like
the place he was going to host it at was no longer available. And all of a sudden, they had to shift locations for the entire festival.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about, so we talked about how, a bunch of these supermodels and super influencers on social media, they got paid to do this stuff. I believe, if I'm not wrong, that this was about the time that, because of what happened in this case, this was when Facebook and Instagram and, that whole, social media community decided that if you are posting something that you've been paid for, so if this is paid for content or sponsored content, you had to disclose, because all these people never disclosed to their millions of followers and fans that they were being paid for this, right? According to reports, Kendall Jenner got $250,000, just to post that. Just to post that. And so, I think something good came out of this, which was, the rule around that was tightened, where it became a sort of strict rule that if you're posting stuff that you've been paid to post, you have to disclose that, because you know how the influencer world works, right? Is people are literally watching you, thinking you're making all these organic choices and thinking you're cool because of the choices you make.
Right.
If you start getting paid to make choices that you then represent to your followers as organic choices,
Right.
that's misleading, right?
Mhm.
Because people want to be, this person
Right.
because, oh, I like how she does this. I like how she arranges that. I like how, a day in her life goes.
Absolutely.
Okay, she's wearing blue today. Okay, must be that blue is the thing to wear today.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I mean, think of entire brands that exist just because of influencers. Fashion Nova,
Right.
Supreme.
Right.
So many brands that exist
Right.
entirely, purely because of influencers.
Exactly.
It is a very powerful
and we could talk about
thing. And yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
This accountability was very necessary.
Right. And of course we could talk about just, why anyone is tailoring their lives so closely after someone else.
Very
but
concerning,
that's another
yes.
conversation.
Yeah.
That's another conversation. But unfortunately, for better or worse, that's the reality
Yeah.
today. Is a lot of people, follow, the object of their admiration so closely, and that's why they're called influencers, because they literally influence,
Yeah.
people, psychology, social engineering, all of that stuff. These influencers are at the heart of that strategy.
Yeah.
And so, one good thing that came out of this was that going forward, I think it became a stricter rule that if you're, as an influencer or anyone for that matter, if you're publishing stuff that you've been paid to publish or post, you should identify that content as such, right? Which is good, right?
I agree. I think that's really important. And I think that also talking about things that were telling you that this wasn't going well is I wonder when people got there and they realized that all these folks who were promoting it were not on the island and had never intended
So
to.
let's talk about let's talk about what that experience was. So you've paid thousands of dollars for the top of luxury, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be put up in the nicest hotels. You're going to be eating meals made by the top rated chefs. And you get there and there's nothing. Sibel, there's literally nothing here. It is tents.
Yeah.
On the sand.
First of all,
right?
They're FEMA tents, which is a government organization. Where did they get FEMA tents? That's a question I have.
That's a question.
That's an interesting question. But Jesus.
It's bad.
It's horrible. You've basically flown yourself into a refugee camp.
Into a disaster region. Exactly. And, there's an account that said a storm had gone through there. I think the day before, making the conditions even worse. So everything was rain soaked.
Because they had to move from their original site to a new site. And they were all of a sudden, within weeks, they were trying to build an entire festival infrastructure. And so
it had no roads. It had no sewage. It had
no running
limited toilets. It had no running water. And these people were met with sandwiches with cold cheese.
Yeah, a sandwich seems like an overestimation. Apparently, there were 2 pieces of bread with just a slice of cheese in between. That does not seem like a sandwich.
Even school lunches are way better.
Barely. It's that's why I love that original line by the New York Post. It's just so savage. Also, I think the way they had, I thought it was really interesting. One of the articles that we read, it said that they, even initially, when they first announced it, they were trying to do within 6 to 8 weeks what would normally take a year.
A year. That's right.
So they were already setting themselves up for failure, much less putting themselves in a position where their initial location was ripped out from under them because they did the one thing they were not meant to do. You had one job. One job. Anyways. And now they're trying to build it.
So I can just imagine the ultimate bro getting there, seeing what's going on,
and having a breakdown.
And just getting on the phone and just, Dad, can you send the helicopter for me, bro? This place is a total nightmare, bro.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, what's going on? Dad, you're not listening to me, bro. This place is a nightmare, bro. Can you airlift me out of here, bro?